I'm Carolee McGrath with a special report on this week's announcement on the expansion of criteria and an updated list of priests with a finding of credibility of sexual abuse of a minor. Springfield Bishop William Byrne held a press conference Wednesday, which was live-streamed, to announce the expansion of the list, which now includes posthumous allegations against priests deemed to be credible by the Diocesan Review Board or its predecessor, the Misconduct Commission. Also added to the list, religious order priests who served in the Springfield Diocese, and diocesan employees. When he was installed last December, Bishop Byrne instructed the Office of Safe Environment to update the list.
I offer my most sincere apology to the victims of these crimes, not only for the crimes themselves, but for the failures of the diocese in handling the courageous victims who came forward to report that they had been abused. Acknowledging a survivor's allegation to be credible brings the truth of these horrific experiences into the light. This expanded disclosure of names is necessary to fulfilling my commitment to transparency and healing. It is my hope that anyone who has experienced the crime of sexual abuse will come forward and report the abuse to law enforcement, no matter when it occurred.
The list published on diospringfield.org includes 61 names. The allegations are not new, and most date back decades.
People that have been hurt, and that's not just the individual abused, but their families, their friends. The cracks are extensive when this happens. The damage is so great that we have a responsibility to do everything we possibly can to remedy something that's been caused from people within the church. There is no other word for this but evil.
Jeffrey Trant, the director of the Office of Safe Environment and Victim Assistance, led a process to go through all the case files available of allegations of sexual abuse by clergy or diocesan personnel. An independent review of that work was then conducted.
In February of 2021, the diocese engaged Dr. Reina Lamade to conduct an independent review of the team's process of reviewing allegations and the classification of findings to ensure the process was rigorous and consistent. Dr. Lamade is a forensic psychologist and an assistant professor of psychology at the University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth.
Trant says the hope is that the updated list will help those who have never disclosed their abuse.
So we know that many individuals likely are suffering in silence with their own abuse. And so with the release of this information, it is absolutely essential that the diocese provides all information that we can that may be useful to someone in discerning whether or not they wish to make a disclosure or to make a report. And the reason that that's important is that one of the first steps in the healing process is to make a disclosure and to reach out for help. And so if the provision of information through the disclosure of names can help someone and to realize that they are not alone, they are not the only person who perhaps has been victimized by someone, we have a responsibility to provide that information in support of that effort.
Doug Cole, a survivor of sexual abuse, was also at the press conference, sharing his story for the first time. He says he waited decades to disclose that he was abused by Richard Levine, the now deceased former priest, whom Hampden County District Attorney Anthony Gallooni was about to serve with an arrest warrant for the murder of Danny Croto in 1972.
It's with a heavy heart that I come forth regarding the abuse I endured at the hands of a Catholic priest at my parish in Shelburne Falls more than 40 years ago. The most important reason I come forth is to give survivors like myself the encouragement to help them heal. As you can imagine, this journey has not been an easy one. Anyone who has endured any type of abuse has the right to be heard.
Cole was also critical of how he was treated when he reported the abuse to the diocese in 2018. He says he felt re-victimized. He also stated he is encouraged by improvements made since Trant took over the office.
But it also gives me hope in the healing process. I am not a spokesman for the diocese. I am using my faith and the Holy Spirit to help fellow survivors with the support of the diocese. I want you all to know that this journey is different for every one of us survivors. I am blessed to have my faith and hope that this will help other survivors in their healing path. Again, please reach out and tell your story. You are not alone.
And we'll hear more from Doug in a special feature on the June 12th edition of Reel to Reel. And for more information on the list, go to diospringfield.org.